be better.
Can you come closer or maybe? No, no, this is yes.
Yeah. Hi everyone, this is DWITiYA, day 2. This is 4 p.m. and we're starting streaming. If you're all watching live, I want to welcome you to something amazing that we're doing here. The spirit of the human people, the spirit of the people who participated here, the volunteers, the participants, the vendors, everything is fantastic. I hope you stay tuned and get to see some amazing stuff. Alright.
Skanda, some message for Dutiya.
Message for DWITiYA.
How are you feeling about this event? How it's going? How's you're
Games
doing
were
so
sold
far?
out. I'm happy about that. Almost done. Really happy about that. Going for a good cause, so I'm happy. About DWITiYA, thanks to Joyet, just gave me an opportunity for a cake stall. I just came here. So DWITiYA rocks. Cheers.
Thank
Bye.
you.
These are organic. These that you see here, can you go and look? These that you see here are all organic desserts, pickles, and jams. There are no preservatives added in this, and they are awesome.
Thank you. Hi Daniel. We are doing this live streaming and you want to share the experience. How are you feeling? Okay, I'll just come. Hi Chetan.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi guys.
How are you feeling and how's your experience in Dutiya so far?
Oh, it's the first time. It's amazing. Had a nice time. Thank you.
Thank you
Nice
Chetan.
experience.
Thank you. Somebody check on YouTube. I'm streaming. Hi, we are from NGO Anahatalife and we have put up this. Do you want to say something? to share some your experience here. We are streaming this live on YouTube.
This is what?
Live on YouTube.
Live on YouTube.
Yep. You can
Very
tell your
nice.
friends. So maybe I'll give you.
Well, this is a very nice experience sitting on MG Road and showcasing our stuff. We are from Delhi and this is a nice place to be. Very good time pass and very good business. Thank you.
You can say something else as well. You can give a message to those who are watching live.
Well, those who are watching live, I have very good people in front of me.
Something for the
And-
cause.
Huh?
For the cause.
Yes, and this is for a cause. I'm sorry, what is the name of the NGO?
Anahatalife.
Sorry, if I'm pronouncing is wrong, I'm sorry. Anahatalife is doing a very good job for the kids and they rock. Thank you so much.
Done. On my behalf, give it to him. Give it to her. Put it to the lady. Put it to the lady. Come on, say something.
Something for the cause.
First of all, we have someone very interesting here who will pass on a message to all you guys there. What is it all about? Just live, happening right now. You're live. Say something. Oh, okay. Hi all. It was interesting over here. You all should join and come. It was nice. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take it to those girls. Okay, we're right now with three very interesting, pretty two ladies who are going to talk about something. So please tell something to our viewers.
Okay, hello, it's very nice experience over here, and these are all the products what I have. These are all hand wooden painted, and these are all tangible paintings. Yeah. Okay, it's very nice experience.
Okay, thank you. And your names?
I'm Deepthi Prajwal, and the shop name is EFG Concepts.
So guys, if you want to get some amazing, interesting tangible paintings and stuff, we still have a couple of hours left. Come to MG Road and buy them. Okay, buy them from these girls.
Hi.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Virajna. I'm here for a good cause to contribute to the society, and we are selling some products. I'm selling some bed sheets, some materials, so that people can get a good product on best price. So please come and see.
Thank you.
For you guys, I got my very good Lilima. She's our new volunteer, people who are watching live. And that is Diana, my always volunteers from the first Anahatalife. If you guys want to meet them, come volunteer now. If you're watching live, don't waste time, just get to MG Road. Thank you.
Welcome, time. It's amazing to be working at Anahatalife. We're having really good fun here, spending few days, enjoying every day of our life. Startup resources, restaurants, downstairs, MG Road, amazing people around here. Keep it up, support us all.
So all you cute guys out there, if you want to meet our kid, come volunteer here now, okay? We're trying to get him a couple of girlfriends, so that's his marketing program. Bye. Okay, I'm going to introduce you people live to our chef and baker, who is a very interesting, scandalous man. So let's talk to Sanda.
Guys, have some cake, please.
Right? Okay? Keep on moving.
Say something.
I, as a Mata's Preserve,
If you want to buy Martha's Preserve and talk to this interesting gentleman, you got to come now. Don't watch live. You should be here.
Solly Baji.
I got you guys. At least are you happy? I mean, I'm putting in effort.
മാടു അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കമാൻഡിൽ ഇറങ്ങിയിട്ട് കമാൻഡിലാണ് കമാൻഡിൽ ഇറങ്ങിയിട്ട് ഇറങ്ങിയിട്ട് അവിടെ വന്ന് നിൽക്കുന്ന കുട്ടികള് ഞാൻ വന്ന് കാണാനൊന്നുള്ളതാ ഞാൻ കൊണ്ടുപോവാ അങ്ങോട്ട് പോവാ അങ്ങോട്ട് പോവാ
അങ്ങോട്ട് പോയ അമ്മയെ അപ്പ എവിടെ ഇരുന്നോളൂ.
Standing face to face, just as you are, lost in your ways. Yeah, I got it right. Oh, you got something good, something good in every way. Yeah, are you ready? I can feel your passion. It all into
Will you tell me what link this is?
You know our website? You have the website link?
Anahatalife.in. There, on that website,
There is a link. Click there for live streaming. Click it. Get the okay in mind. Then that. Wait, right. See, they can do it, huh?
Who?
They can go to anahatalife.in. But good, generally people are so lazy there. You give them a check link. They can go. How do you tell them? They can go. If you go to YouTube Anahatalife, you should go to the channel, is it? Simple way. Then if you are telling someone, Anahatalife.in our website, there is a click here for live streaming. So if you have to link for your mobile, don't go on YouTube also you can go. Or simply go on our website, click there for live streaming. You will get it. On YouTube, how do you do? Through YouTube. Go in our Anahatalife. You type Anahatalife DWITiYA. It will come. There are some 3 videos that I see. Above that, there are more. It's a live streaming link. Not in the website, in YouTube. YouTube? Yes. Yes.
There's one friend of mine who is in Hyderabad. वो painting सीखना चाहता है. So I said I like stream. Once he is online, because he is asking for that saxophone for controlling sound. Take the saxophone for sound. The rest are all right. So then मैं गलती से ये भी भेज दिया. So he's saying I want more options. I said okay, I'll give you more options. But that is only for 1,000. I'm not selling you less. ठीक है ना?
ठीक है.
Once you join, sell it.
Okay. Jointa, I think. Yeah, Jointa under that tire. Yeah. But no, Jointa it may be a bit slow. That's what I mean. Delay may be there. As per public, we should be able to, we must be seeing this.
You're sharing that and you're sharing that and all. Okay.
Shortly.
See, ఇక్కడ సరే వందరా The online will go first. राइट दे दिया इसको सीधे पे दे तो करने वाले
Yes, Deepak. Hi.
Hey, hi. Hi guys, how are you? Can you see me?
share experience.
अरे
Any
ऐसे थोड़ा
experience.
सा सुंदर करना पड़ेगा. I'll go out for some. Take care, I'll come.
How many years did you have? You said you were?
Say hi. You're on YouTube. Hi. Say hi.
Hi.
Hello. You see? Pull it down. Now you say, oh here, come here. See, come here. Now say hi. Now say hi. Don't tell him. No say. How do you find it when you go back there? How old are you, man? 49 now. But it looks 1920, yeah. You should have got married by now. I should have had a kid of you. You got married at 28, had a son of you. I think so. It's a wrong age for me. Too old for me to get married.
Not receiving anything from that code again. Shall we set up a new one?
Yeah, we can.
Or it will be live now again. Again it will be live. Where is that?
Go on your life.
Actually, we can set up a new one now, but okay, it's public view. What they are saying that use live. Sir, I thought of setting up live.
आ गया लैपटॉप है क्या तेरा?
Guy, हो रहा है, मुझे फिलअप चाहिए ना ये कनेक्शन।
वो लाइट्स ऑन का स्विच ऑन करके देखते हैं एक बार कैसे होता है।
नहीं ये तो नहीं चाहिए।
हाँ नहीं चाहिए ना। इसका चार्जर कहाँ है?
क्या तो मेरे पास में ये बंद हो गया क्या? ऐसा तो ऐसा बोला क्या?
नहीं, she said please save it the work or something. Because she's typing on that. You want to keep that here? That laptop?
See, wait. I'm just trying to check. कैंसिल हो गया? बंद हो गया? मैं देता हूँ। Can you, Mahesh, you have a 3G connection?
No.
What are you saying?
You want to stream, right?
Streaming confirmation is happening fine now.
हाँ तो वहाँ
मैं अपने अच्छा मैं खुद ही देख रहा हूँ मेरा 4G है। Yeah, this is only now it's happening. Correct. Even here, go to see. This is the right. How much like it is? It's pretty. Wait. Put in a YouTube directory.
Password क्या है? One. It's coming your previous video. चार्जर भी entertainment as well as the desktop fashion. ये क्या है? ये डेस्कटॉप हाँ एग्जीबिशन है इसको खाली प्रेजेंटेशंस का है जो प्रेजेंटेशंस है ना वो हमें करनी है बस एक वीडियो है वो चलाना है तो उसको एक फोल्डर डाल के मतलब ट्विटर है ना प्लीज सबको एक नमस्ते बोलो टाइप करो नहीं You can tell that guy Madhu. Asking to put something. Outside there will be one guy called Madhu. क्या अंदर सब कुछ ठीक ठाक ना? कल रात को कोई आदमी तो नहीं आया? गुंडा वगैरह? सेटिंग कर नहीं वो ठीक है ये इतना उठा भी लाइक देंगे और डिले है ठीक है उसको रहने अरे कैमरा है देखना है तो कर देना अंदर नहीं दिखेगा इसीलिए कैसा है Project something there. It's going to yeah, yeah. The music is still good. So you need to align it a little to the left. Happening to last few minutes only. It is too much. What do I do?
Then it will be difficult to set up.
You know, you are saying correct.
Huh?
If I go to other account in this, this is
Then that
my
account
Ananta
you
account.
will direct.
But this is my Ananta account.
Yeah. Limit. It is not going to.
See, my this thing. Well,
So everyone, good evening. So now we can lower the lights. I think you're see the lights off. Can we make it softer? The lights. Right. So thank you everyone for coming today to Anahatalife evening. We're expecting a lot more. Some of them are struck across the city in the famous Bangalore traffic, which is something we always anticipate and still never plan for. So I'll start off with why are we all here? And some of you may know that this is a program that Anahatalife runs every couple of months. But at the same time, you might be wondering what is. Okay, I see most of the people are invited here. Why are we here and what are we going to talk about? So I'll just start with a little introduction to Anahatalife. Who are we? So you see that right behind you, our logo, and I'll tell you what we do and who are we. So we're really a bunch of people, and that's possibly the best introduction that I can give all of you. Why are we together and what do we do? Like, bunch of people always come together for a purpose, for a reason. I guess ancient man started grouping because he wanted to live in a society. We form clubs because we want to go swimming. We sometimes form groups to go on. That's also happening. But there's always a common purpose why we get together. So the bunch of people that we are, why are we together and what are we doing today here in the MG Road metro station? I think the only way I can sum it up is because we all decided that it's not enough to live for ourselves. We wanted to do a little more. All of us live for ourselves. We live for the people that we live in our houses, our partners, our spouses, our parents, our children, sometimes our neighbors and friends and employees. But that's only so much that we do. But I increasingly started to find a group of people across the world as I started traveling who said that there's a lot more we can do. I think it doesn't do enough justice to human potential if I just live for 10 people or 5 or 3 or most times just 1. How about I live for a little bit more? And then we all got together and started discussing. Some of them friends, some of them people I met over the internet, some of them people who sought me out on Facebook because of my social activities that I've been doing from a very young age. Some people already knew me. And they came up to me and they said, we want to do something. Well, what do we do? So we came up with the usual answers. Population control, sex education, child rehabilitation. The usual things you hear on TV when you're talking non-profit. Everybody wants to do the same things. But I said no. I've done a lot of that. I've volunteered from a very young age in different organizations. I said no. We'll not just do population control and sex education and child trafficking. No, we can do it. But the question is, why do you want to do it? Okay. I wanted us to sit together and introspect. And right from a 13-year-old volunteer to a 74-year-old volunteer, I wanted to ask everybody, why are you really here? Why are you here? Why are you guys together? Why are you asking me this question that I want to do more? Why? What is the answer to that? You just want to raise your hand and say, I want to help people have less population? You just want to go to a village and distribute a few medical kits? No, really, what is it you want to do? Why are you here today? Why are you all sitting here? What is it you want? And when we did that workshop, some very surprising answers started coming to the surface. The answers were this, that most people felt, I think not most, all of us do, if you give yourself the time and space, that there's an enormous amount of potential in each one of us, which is not yet realized. You haven't done something with it yet. And I've heard this from people who've lived enormously successful lives. I'm talking about retired army colonels who've won very successful wars. I'm talking about very wealthy investment bankers. I'm talking about a certain American who was probably the first to do a kind of swimming feat that nobody in the world has done, so-called successful lives. And even with all of that, they felt, this wasn't enough. I think I could have done something else with my life. This is something that even a 15-year-old child feels these days. This is not enough. I should have done something else. And I think when we all got together and started discussing our experiences in life, we realized that something else is not something you do just for yourself. If you live little for something other than you, suddenly your life makes a lot more sense. It feels a lot more complete. Because all our lives, everything that we do, whether it is for us or for near and dear ones, we do it in the expectation of something to get back in return. Trust me, we do. Even the people who you so-called love unconditionally, it's not that unconditional. Trust me. There is something you're expecting all the time. And this psychologically continues forever. You know, you never get out of this game ever until the last day of your life. You study to get a job, you marry to have a partner, you make a friend because you're lonely. Everything comes with a return on investment in your head. But everybody wants to take a break, you know. Every computer needs to reboot, every laptop needs to be shut down, every machine runs well and it is shut down. So there's a person called you that you are living with forever in your life. You need to take a break from that person now and then. This you that you live with and you're in love with is living the same life with the same expectations every day of your life. I think sometimes you need to shut this laptop, you need to reboot this machine, you need to get rid of this person called you, this I that you live with, and live with someone else that you haven't lived with. And this is what we started doing in Anahatalife. Start discovering somebody you've not lived with, another version of you. So I have an investment banker in my organization who simply distributes water to people and rolls out carpets. I have an RJ who does techie work. I have a technology consultant who tries to help me with food. I have a research engineer baking cakes. So it's a complete break from who you are. You don't even have to come with the same group of people if you don't want to. If you don't want to bring your family or your friends or your known partners to this organization, it's fine. Come by yourself, it's great. I actually encourage people not to bring known people with themselves. Please take a break from yourself. Please live with somebody you've never lived with. That person inside you who's dying to get fulfillment. Just, just realize that. And if one individual at a time starts getting fulfillment, I think that's half the battle won. We don't really have to go out and make children happier or women safer or men well behaved. I think every individual starts feeling happier and more satisfied. That's all the battle won. You don't have to go out and do anything specific like a flood rehabilitation or just pick up sick children. You can do that, of course. But if you just work on yourself and you're good, and everybody sitting here, 200 of you feel good, I think that's a lot of job done. I don't think you need to go out and do anything special. So that's what we set out to do in Anahatalife. And I don't know why volunteers will tell me, are you guys happy? Did you take a break from yourself? Yeah? Yeah. Okay. So I think from what I hear, the experiment has worked. So it was an experiment for me as well. I didn't know if it's going to work, but it worked. Right. Now coming to what do we really do when I get these people together and give them different jobs and things like that. What do we really do? What do we try to achieve? So we don't really monetize it because that's again something that you do in your everyday life. Talk about how much money can you get out of it. We do something different. We do these services for a project. The project keeps changing every month, every quarter, and the project is always a community project. So this time our project was to rehabilitate children who are born to trash workers, people who collect garbage. So they have children, and what happens to these children is it's a little more complicated than the slum situation because most of them don't go back and live in the same house in the same area. So there's some problem with their identity, their papers. They don't even have very clear parentage in some cases. projects. So we're trying to work on that. And we are also working, as in today's event, trying to raise funds for women and men who have been rescued from sex trafficking situations. We're trying to get them to rehabilitation, training, etc. So these are our two causes. But how we achieve that is via volunteers who are also my cause. The very people who work for us are my cause as well, are all of our cause. We are working on ourselves while we are working on these community projects. And all our volunteers have full-time jobs in somewhere else. They're very successful, 9 to 5, 9 to 9s, whatever, different parts of the world, Monday to Friday. But sometimes on weekend we get together and we make sure that we do something that we've not done before. We live with somebody other than ourselves. We take a break. And while we do that, we end up helping someone. That's what this is about. So I will now quickly check if the dancers are ready. Can you please check if the dancers are ready? Okay, not yet. They need another 5 minutes. Right. So while we have that 5 minutes, I'll quickly introduce a couple of people that I really want to. Because after the dance performance, we will have a quick talk by a couple of people who are going to turn up here on stage today. Some of them will speak from across the ocean, so we'll have them on Skype. And they're going to talk about different initiatives that they've taken up in their lives. Whether it's a new startup that somebody has started, or whether it's an NGO that's doing something you haven't heard of. It's going to be a 5-minute talk. And you can contribute to the talk. Everybody here, you can ask questions, you can volunteer, you can find out more about them, such as a card. However, there's a group of people here called my panelists who are especially empowered to do these things, to ask these questions. So I'll go around and introduce them quickly. So first up, I have Skanda, who is where? You get right. So my volunteers are busy. I will introduce Chetan then. So Chetan is here. Can you stand and wave to everybody? Right. So Chetan is an investing banker who became a techie. And he's now volunteering for me. He's good at a lot of things, but mostly he's good at selling cake. Just shouts on top of his voice like, 30 rupees cake, please, this is for kids. That's what my investing banker is doing. Right. So that's Chetan. I'd like to introduce Ankit. Ankit, can I see you? No, Ankit's not there. So I'll just introduce Deepak. Can you please wave to everybody? Right. Deepak is a techie from Cisco who is using his skill of painting and photography. He tries to make paintings for us and tries to sell them. He's also my creative head. But by profession, he is a hardcore engineer, and most people in Bangalore are. I would also like to introduce here Ganesh, who's here. Ganesh, please wave to everyone. Ganesh is a person that I met on a spiritual journey. He's a meditator as well. Um, and he is a filmmaker. He makes beautiful documentaries and ad films and things like that. So he's a person who sees the world from behind the camera and he directs things as well. He's done some films for National Geographic and his film company is called Inner Eye Films. Did I get that right? Inner Eye. So I've gone to his sets and I've seen Ganesh in action. He shot some films from a lot of spiritual leaders in India as well. He's a beautiful person, very passionate about India, extremely patriotic, and he's made some beautiful movies. So that's Ganesh. And I would now like to introduce someone who's very special, Captain Arvind. So can you please wave everybody? Okay. He took away the biggest fear I had in my life. I was very afraid of heights. And so what did I do? I decided to go fly on my full idea. That's how I got rid of my fear. And Captain Arvind took me on that. So he's extremely young. He has more than I think 2 decades of flying experience. He's sort of been a pioneer in the private flying space. He does a lot of outstanding stuff, like superhero stuff, flying in the air, on weather projects, and stuff like that. But above all, he's a very wonderful person. He's helped us get through our last event, which was Pratham. So thank you for that, Captain Irving. Okay, here is my 2 volunteers, Deepak and Skanda. Can you please be seated? I missed your introduction. So Skanda is a graduate from the University bakes cakes for me on weekends. He's basically a research engineer who loves baking. And he's a person who's worked with a lot of social institutes and he's helping us gather funds by selling cakes. He does that well. And what are your cakes called? Strawberry, cutie, naughty, nutty, whatever. And I see a lot of girls buying them typically. Okay? I don't know what's going on. Okay? So, where is Deepak Raju? Why is he disappearing? Oh, where did he run? Where is he? Yeah. So, Deepak Raju is my strategic advisor. He has worked for 15 years and he works for ING Vyasta. He's a senior project manager. He takes care of IT. But in Anahatalife, he helps to set up the stage and he also helps us all get our furniture on time. That's what he does for us. Okay. I have right in time Pradeep. Pradeep is a project manager at Tata HL. Can you please wave to everyone? Okay. But for Anahatalife, he is an administrator, coordinator, somebody who facilitates everything happening. Right. So I have most of my panelists. And now that we have that, I'll leave it over to the dance, after which we are waiting for. The dance is going to be done by, can I have my phone? I have the introduction. So this is the introduction. Silambam School of Fine Arts and Alliance of Sri Bharatalaya, Chennai will now present a Bharatanatyam presentation, Ras, where the Gopika of the idyllic Vrindavan dance joyously with their sweetheart Krishna. This piece has been composed by Padma Bhushan Vidwan Madurai N. Krishnan and choreographed by Padma Shri Sudharani Raghukar. So while we get ready for the music, I will just quickly introduce my last and very special two panelists. One is Ravi Sarkar. She's a pediatrician for over a decade. And she's quite famous in Bangalore. Please wave to everyone. And the other panelist is someone with immense patience because she's done something that deserves a Nobel, but I just don't know why nobody ever gave it to her. That's my mother. She's a teacher in a scientist for over 2 years. She did this. So, right. So we'll get started with our program.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to present this Bharatanatyam choreography. It is really based on the Ras, which is a joyous form of Bharatanatyam that Krishna and Gopikas very famously done as part in many parts of India as Garba and many forms as well, many other forms. And you might see many of the paintings that are there on the temples and many other artistic, in terms of paintings and many other forms. In Bharatanatyam, this is a choreography based on Bharatanatyam, but you will see some of those movements with the Garba movements, which uses the stick or the Garba sticks, those kind of sticks which you will enjoy. It's very colorful, and we have a bunch of beautifully young, talented dancers out here from Silambam, a school that I run in Bangalore. I am the artistic director. My name is Gayatri Ramanatnam, and I'm a student of Padma Shri Sudharani Raghukar based out of Chennai. So it is with immense pleasure that I am going to present this art form. Just a little bit of an introduction about Bharatanatyam itself, because now I see that there is a cosmopolitan city like Bangalore. Bharatanatyam is one of the many dance forms. It's not really the base form of the state anymore. So just to give a little bit of an introduction of Bharatanatyam itself. So in short, it is really Bhava Raga Tala, which is a representation of Bhava, which is Abhinaya or emotions, Raga, which is song or music together, or composition of all the ragas that you present and import to, and the Tala or the concept of beats and rhythms. So Bharatanatyam is an encompassing of all the Bhava, Raga, and Tala in short. And again, to expand a little more, we have what is the pure form of dance, which is the Nritta, and Abhinaya, which is emotion. So you will see the Nritya as well as the Abhinaya in this choreography that I'm going to present out today. You will see that the dancers are doing some of the face adavus, which is called as the Nritya, and then you will also see the emotion of love or Shringara, which is coming out between the Gopikas towards Krishna and Krishna towards the Gopikas. So with that, I will leave the stage for the beautiful young dancers out here, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Okay, so that was a beautiful Bharatanatyam performance. This is a dance form I've trained in personally for several years as a child, in my formative years. And like all Indian classical music and dance, I can tell you that this is a sadhana by itself. There's so much it does to your mind, body, and soul. That is difficult to put in words. So before I move on to the next section, so the next section is a quick couple of minutes of video. This video has been recorded by a
few engineers who are now in USA. They are of Indian origin. So there's a 19-year-old boy who has formed a company called EcoWave. This company converts stale air to fresh air, and he does that with the help of something very innovative. And when you see the video, you will see what it really does. When the video comes up, I would like to introduce two of my other panelists, since they're both here. One of them, very, very special and dear to me, very good friend of mine. He's quite a famous, reputed movie director, Mr. Sagar, who's, yeah, just wait, nobody. That's it. He's come from quite a far distance. He's traveled all this way to be in our program today. He helps us in many of the causes. He sponsors them or he personally lends us help so that we can make it possible for others. The other person is Diana. You come forward. Okay. Diana is one of my most important volunteers. She's worked in Accenture. She's worked in several companies. She's right now in Quintiles. She's a senior corporate. But in Anahatalife, she is my reception and public relations woman. She helps me get people and speak to them. That's what she volunteers for us. Right, so these are my two panelists here. So are we ready with the video?
Yes.
Okay. So once we play the video, at the end of it, I'll invite questions or if you have doubts, panelists are free to ask. Others can also interact. Okay, can we start?
Hi everyone. I hope you guys are having an amazing event, and I'm sorry I couldn't come speak in person. So I thought I would record a few words to hopefully convey my message. Let me start off and introduce myself. My name is Param Yagi. I'm the 19-year-old founder and CEO, CEO meaning the Chief Environmental Officer of EcoWave. So I'll go into some of the stuff I work on and some of the stuff my company is working on. And then hopefully try to convey an overall message of what we're trying to do and kind of how we're trying to do it. So EcoWave is a company that creates sustainable technologies and empowers others to do the exact same. So we are trying to create these green, consumable, disposable products that will hopefully make the world a better place with less carbon emissions and different sources of energy. And also empower the next generation of kids, just like myself and my peers, to understand that they have the ability to change the world and build a future they want to see. That's the reason really why I founded EcoWave. And on a more tangible level, we're working on a few different things right now. So the first project we're working on is called the EcoTube and EcoTank. It's a device that fits directly onto the exhaust of any motor vehicle, and it reduces carbon emissions using photosynthesis of algae and basic acid-based reduction. So we're currently building out the device, and the device is currently a 3-part system, 2-part hardware, 1-part software. Hardware fits directly onto the exhaust of any motor vehicle, and then the software is a mobile application that is on the iPhone we're soon going to publish, where you can take a picture of yourself using our technology, and you'll actually get a discount at a local store. So what happens is that you actually get a monetary incentive for being more green and eco-friendly, and then the companies that are giving the discount can actually apply for carbon credits back from the government. So it's a win-win situation for all. So that's the first project we're working on. We're hoping to launch in early summer, so in the next month or two. We're just solidifying the business plan and how we're going to get to market. The second device we're working on is called the Green Shield. It's a device that fits on school buses that makes them more aerodynamic. Basically, it's a diagonal shield that fits on the kind of rectangular prism that you find in any bus or school bus around the world. And it reduces drag, which then reduces carbon emissions and reduces fuel consumption. So actually, there's a direct correlation that school buses can use our technology, or the district can use our technology, and within months they'll actually get their money back because they'll be reducing their fuel consumption. We found there's a reduction in fuel consumption by about 20%, and a reduction in carbon emissions by around 30%. So we're currently working on that technology to revolutionize transportation, how school buses and buses in general have been thought of over the past 50 to 100 years. The third thing we're working on is completely separate. This one goes back to the whole kind of trying to empower the next generation to do the same thing that we are. And it's a mobile app called Lotus that we're launching later this summer. And basically, it's a technology that connects people with ideas to people that can create something out of those ideas. So we're kind of connecting people that have those, if you have an app idea in the back of your mind, or you have an idea to build a better bike or a better desk, just some of those are examples. We all have those ideas that are in the back of our mind, but we don't really know what to do with those ideas and how to create something tangible with those ideas. So we're trying to create an app that we can connect people that have those ideas with the people that can probably help them with ideas and create something out of those. Kind of thus to empower us all to build a more sustainable and kind of build a future that we want to see. So I guess those are the products that we're working on at DWITiYA. But the general picture brings me back to why I founded DWITiYA and my story. So I'm currently 19 years old, and my story starts when I was around 12 or 13. I was always curious about the world around me, and I really was always interested in science and technology and how we can use products to really create a tangible difference in our future. When I was around 12 or 13, I started doing lab research, started messing around with things like ethanol and methanol solutions, bioreactors and algae, and trying to create kind of technologies that can make a real impact in our environment and Earth as a whole. So when I was around 15 or 16, I started teaching myself how to code. Really just was trying to learn about the world around me and how we can manipulate technology to create a more sustainable future. And so last summer I founded DWITiYA after years of research to bring my ideas to life and create something real out of those ambitions and aspirations and those projects I always had. So I mean, COVID itself was it was founded after me and my co-founder. His name is Johnny Cohen, and we met at the Forbes 30 under 30 party. After we had been named to the list in 2012 and 2013, and I think I was 18 or 17 at the time. He was 16 or 17, and everyone in the room was very old. I mean, they were all relatively old, I guess. They were all 28, 29, 30 years old. And I remember I was walking around the party, not really being able to connect with anyone. And I met Johnny, who was pretty much my age. And what we realized was that Johnny had been working on the green shields since he was around 12, the technology that fits on school buses. And I had been working on the eco-tube and eco-tank since I was around 12. And we kind of looked at each other and realized that, we were both very young innovators in our.
Okay, so we pause the video. Can you have the lights on, please? Yeah, you can actually close it. So that's really a 19-year-old boy called Param Jagli who's in the US right now. He's called this company. I think when we were 19, most of us just knew what's the latest movie release apart from our homeworks. This guy is trying to make a cleaner Earth. So I just thought that you all should know that there are people out there who are really successful, who are doing a lot of things that you would like to do, and they're doing it with an eye for the world. They're not just living for themselves. And the moment we say not living for themselves, you think non-profit is living in rags and tatters and being poor. Not necessarily. You can do both. You're quite successfully doing both. Right. So next up, you ready? Okay. You share. They're ready? Okay. So before we start off with that, I have a small introduction with Samarpan themselves, right? So before we have the next performance, I have Samarpan Foundation. They're very, very close to my heart. This is an organization that I've known from my last event. They are beautiful people. The kind of things they're doing in the world is phenomenal. Somebody please take the USB stick and see that it works for them. Yeah. So yeah, getting back to Samarpan Foundation. They do some beautiful things, but the presenter is really good himself, so I don't want to take away the mystery of what he's going to talk about. They're also a non-profit NGO organization who work. Some of you have seen them last time, right? So they'll be up today talking quickly 5 minutes about themselves. But before we do that, I have a question for all of you. Any of you here, from what you've seen on the video, I don't know how many of you didn't see, but if you were watching, do you have any questions, suggestions, or something that you are doing in your own house or backyard which is similar to this? Like, what do you think? Like, if you were to take stale air and make it into fresher air, there are many technologies. Sometimes you can do simple things like open your window. That is also a technology. What I'm asking all of you is just an open-ended question. If you were to try and make cleaner air, what is it you can do in your everyday life? Something, anything, any of you can share. Like, forget the video. I'm not talking high technology. Just simple. If you have like really dirty air, like you walk into a room or you're in a place and you see like, wow, look at that truck that just blew heavy black air on my face and walked away. What do? You just drive your car and go back to work and forget about it. I'm sure that's what most of us are doing. But is there something else you can do? It could be anything. Would you like to talk about it? Would you go and post about it on Facebook? Would you like to tell a couple of friends not to drive terrible cars which throw smoke all over? Or do you at least report the number to a local pollution board? Do you do something? Yeah? Plant a tree. That is a wonderful thing to do. You can plant a tree. That works wonders. Anything else? Any suggestions here? If you are really terribly dirty air, you want to do something about it. You want to do it directly. You want to call someone. You want to tell somebody. Is there something you can do? One more, kids. Come on. If you have really dirty air in a room, what do? You switch on the fan, so you circulate air. Beautiful, right? So that's a very good suggestion from the young kid here. If you're feeling stuffy, you switch on the fan. But what else can you do? One more. You would like to inform the pollution board? Yeah? Okay, great. So that's a small suggestion by a lady here. What's your name? No? That was you? What's your name, sir? No? So Ranjit sir has given us a really good suggestion. Please inform the pollution board. If you do not know how to inform, it's very easy. All of you have internet, you have smartphones. Please look up the number or the website. Don't worry if they won't do anything. Most of us say, I'll inform them, they'll not do it. Let's help them figure out their job. They do, they don't, it doesn't matter. Can you do your job? When you see something terrible blowing in your face, your kids live in the same world. It's not just you. And you just report it. Just report it to the pollution control board. If you need the numbers or the contact, how to go about it, please get in touch with us at Anahatalife. We'll help you figure it out. Okay, so ready? Mark, you're up next. Mark from Samarpan Foundation will talk a couple of minutes about something I don't want to tell you about. He will tell you.
Thank you so much. First of all, don't let my looks go by anything. I'm a professional musician, DJ, MC. I do that for a living, but this is what I do from my heart. Okay, first to tell you a little bit about the Samarpan Foundation. We're a foundation that is completely volunteer driven. Nobody gets a salary, nobody gets a single naya paisa out of this foundation. In fact, very often we put in money to help the causes that we support and the causes that we work for. This foundation was formed by a good friend of mine, an old classmate of mine from school called Patrick San Francisco. It was formed about 15 to 18 years ago. It started very small, but we're doing a lot of amazing work in Bangalore here. But more than that, we're doing it right across the country. So I'm going to share with you one of the things that is close to my heart and what I'm spearheading here in Bangalore and across maybe a few other places in India. But apart from this, I'll tell you what we also do. I mean, we are basically, Samarpan Foundation is basically an organization that works for women's empowerment. We try to give women, particularly the poor women and the underprivileged and the ones from the backward set of society, a chance to earn their living, to have some sort of stand in life, to have some sort of safety in life, and things like that. So some of the things that we do, one is we actually work very closely with the Tihar jail in Delhi, and there are 9 different jails over there. And every convict that is inside over there, in case they were or are the only breadwinner for the family, the sole earners, what we do is we contact the family, the wife, the mother, or the grandmother, whoever, and we make sure from the Samarkand Foundation either we give them a job, or more than that, we make sure that each and every one of those families gets their rations for the month. At least their food is supplied for. We run quite a few schools. We have a couple here in Bangalore. We have many in Delhi. We've got places in Kashmir, in the Sundarbans, in Goa, in Chennai, pretty much all across the country, where we educate little children, particularly girl children. One thing that we started doing very, very recently, and it's no rocket science when I show you what we're actually doing, is we build houses. Yes, we build houses, we build homes. As I speak, just about 16 hours ago, we've actually put the roofing up, and I'll show you a picture of that in a little while. But what do we build houses from? Can we have the first slide, please? There you go. The first slide. Plastic bottles. Plastic bottles. Okay? Particularly mineral water bottles, because you can see mineral water bottles have these little grooves in them. Okay, so when you put concrete around, the concrete actually sticks into it. Now, why do we use plastic bottles? One is, everybody knows, plastic is terrible. Plastic is not biodegradable. By the way, it takes you about 1,560 years for a plastic bottle to disintegrate. Okay? 1,560 odd years is what a plastic bottle would take to disintegrate in its present form where we are. So what we do is we actually pick up these plastic bottles. It's basically everybody else's garbage. Nobody wants the plastic. Okay, people hate plastic. We love plastic. Okay, so we go and we gather all these bottles and we give them to these poor women to fill up with sand. Okay, because you can't just use the bottle empty, it's going to crush up that. So there's a particular way we train them also how to fill the bottles with sand, because it's got to be in a good vibration mode, so the sand settles down nice and compact and it's really tight, and then we put the cover on. Then each bottle becomes a brick. Each bottle becomes a brick. Okay. Now these women, not only do they fill up these bottles, for every bottle that they fill, they're actually paid about a rupee or 2 rupees, depending on wherever they are. So that many bottles that they fill for the day, okay, they're actually earning money also to feed their families. And we take these same bottles and we actually build them their own houses. Okay, now if you go out and if you're constructing a house now, a single brick in Bangalore nowadays, the ordinary ones are about 28 rupees one brick. Okay, the real machine cut ones and the terracotta ones go up to about 40 rupees a brick. You're getting a brick absolutely free. Somebody else's trash. The sand, we don't use river sand, okay? We pick up sand that's been dumped all over the streets in Bangalore, okay? It's sifted out, it's strained by these very people, and it's packed up over there. Each bottle becomes one brick. If you can go to the next slide, please. Okay, so these bottles are collected. As you can see, we have these small little shelters. Those are the poor people who are actually filling up these bottles once we've got enough of them. Next slide, please. Okay, those are ready for use. Next slide, please. There you go. Now, what we do, just like you build a normal house, as you can see, you need a strong foundation. Okay, so that's what we do, is we dig the foundation down. The bottles are already filled up. And there is a scientific way. We've actually worked on this experiment on a lot of time. By the way, there are thousands and thousands of houses in Mexico also being built by the same method. Okay, so we've taken technologies from all over, because you can't just put the bottles on top like that, they might roll over. So there's a particular way you need to lattice it, as you'll see in the pictures to come. You can notice some of them over here. 2 are put like this, 1 like that. 2 are put like that, 1 like this. So it becomes like a nice jigsaw puzzle. Okay, foundation is going down. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, now the foundation is done. Okay, of course, that's going to be filled up with concrete. Now, what do we have? A fishing net. We don't use metal to build houses. One is metal is expensive. Remember, we are building these houses for charity. We're building it for people who don't have the money to afford metal. But we've actually discovered that a fishing net, okay, if it's used in the right way with concrete, is 7 times more stronger than steel. If you have steel in your house and your beams, after a few years' time, the steel is going to start getting corroded. Okay, the steel starts cracking, and then your roof would probably start sagging like this. Not so with the fishing net. Those of you who've been to a circus, you probably see the acrobats when they're jumping around in the air. They always make sure there's a big fishing net underneath. And if they fall on that, they're absolutely safe because the fishing net absorbs impact very easily. And it's the same technology that we use. This fishing net makes the house completely earthquake proof. So you can have a force which on the Richter scale, 8, 9, 10 on the Richter scale, and this house will never collapse, I can guarantee you. But one built with bricks and concrete, there is a chance it could. I'm not saying it will, but there is a chance it could. Not these houses. So we put the fishing net over there, concrete is poured across. Next slide, please. Okay, do you see? Now, those are all little bottles. These are all bottles, if you can see. Those are all bottles. One wall is up, the fishing net goes over. Now, the fishing net also holds, it sort of holds the bottles in place when you're constructing. And then we concrete it over. Next slide. That's one wall up over there. Once the one wall is up, the second wall goes, and then we pull the net over and bring it around to construct the other 2 walls. Okay, so it's called looping the fishing net. Okay, next slide, please. There you go. Those 2 walls are up. We've started construction on the other 4 walls. So we merge the fishing net with the opposite side, so it becomes completely like it's like a ball. There's no way any one wall can fall or all can't fall. Next slide, please. Once that's done, we are ready for the roof. Okay, so your 4 walls are up. The same thing what we do is these are again fishing nets that are rolled up. Okay, so when you roll up, it's like when you take 2 pieces of string at home and you twist them together, it becomes a lot stronger. It's the same thing that happens over here, but because the fishing net has a hexagonal kind of pattern, okay, the same way a honeybee, why does it make its comb with that particular shape? It's structurally it's the most strongest. The same thing with the fishing net. It's so strong that when you roll it up like that, it becomes stronger than metal beams. Okay, so we're ready with that. Next slide, please. Okay, ready to pour the concrete. Next slide, please. There you go. Concrete's poured over. So that's the roofing going on. You can see underneath is the fishing net. The walls on the side are all made with plastic bottles. Next slide. Okay, that's your slab ready for curing. Takes about 7 days. They fill water on that. Make sure that the concrete is moist. Once that is set, next slide, please. Okay, now you probably want to decide, okay, I need some light. Okay, so that is when you start putting in your windows. But in this case, what we decided to do is we not only needed a bit of light to come into the house, we also needed it to have a little bit of a design. So we said, let's build a dome on top of the building. Okay, so we put the structure there for a dome. Again, going to be made out of plastic bottles. Next slide, please. There you go. That's the dome. It's like a big upturned bucket. They put the bottles over there. It's concreted in. Next slide. Your dome completed. Okay, after that we're going to concrete it and let's see what happens next. Next slide. There you go. That's your house. Out of plastic bottles. Okay, to build a house this size, okay, here in Bangalore, we've done the math to use concrete, to use steel, to use bricks. To build a house, this is a 1-bedroom house, the windows, doors, everything, okay, over there. There's a toilet inside, a bathroom inside, a small little kitchenette inside. If you have to build a house like this in Bangalore today, this kind of a house would cost you about 1,27,000 to build out of concrete bricks, okay? This house costed us about 14,000 rupees. Now people ask me this, but Mark, it's plastic, yeah, come on. It's like, you heard that story about, the story like the wolf comes to huff and puff and blow the house down. Okay, this house, because plastic, as I mentioned, is not biodegradable, okay, is about 7.5 times, 8 times stronger than a concrete house. Okay, now what's going to happen to this house? This house is 100% waterproof because water will not seep through plastic. You build it out of bricks, after a couple of years, water starts gathering in one place. You get those wet patches in your house. Yes. There's a chance that the plaster will fall off. There's a chance the wall might fall. That will never happen in this house, built out of plastic entirely. Again, now, as we speak, I'm going to actually show you, unfortunately, Priyanka is not here today. Pullim actually heads our foundation here in Bangalore. We have a small little setup in Henu Road. Because of my association as an entertainer, as a professional, as a DJ, I've been working with all these pubs and restaurants and bars and hotels. I went across with Priyanka and Pullim to all these places. I said, please, I mean, your plastic bottles are junk for you. Can you give it to us? This is what we do. And they said, yeah, sure, please, it's garbage. Take it and go. We don't have place to store it. And I think from about 5-6 months ago, we were lucky if we got 50 bottles a day, 50 a day, 100 a day. That we used to go on the road and pick up and things like that. I think today our collection has gone up to well over about 12,000 to 14,000 bottles a day just here in Bangalore. We pick up all the plastic bottles from Forum Mall, from most of your restaurants, pubs, children, okay. Most of the hotels, we've tied up with all the hotels and restaurants. We go there, we pick up their plastic bottles, we take it to our little place in Henu Road. We've had to actually hire a lot more women. We had only about 3 or 4 women before filling up these bottles. Now I think we employ about 24 women. As we speak, I don't know whether Priyanka told you that there are 7 people coming from the Sundarbans to be fully employed here in our Bangalore Center to help fill these bottles. Okay, so there we are. We're giving jobs back to these women. Okay, but now I'm going to show you what we've been doing in the Sundarbans. Just to give you a little glimpse, for those of you who have not been to the Sundarbans, we've got a complete team from Bangalore who are presently training over there on a project we're doing, because once with the training and the expertise that they get in the Sundarbans, we're hoping that they bring it back over here and we build a whole lot of these houses for the poor here. But the National Geographic actually announced recently that the Sundarbans is the world's most dangerous place on this planet. It is the world's most dangerous place. Not only do you have the Bengal tigers, people have to walk, the tribals over there have to walk around with a mask behind their head, not in front. So the tiger thinks, okay, there's someone looking even from the back. You've got tigers over there. You've got killer bees, which kill up hundreds and thousands of people every year. Snakes, okay? The highest concentration of venomous snakes on this planet, again, is in the Sundarbans. You have something called bull sharks. Freshwater sharks that roam around these waters. They take about 300 people every year in the Sundarbans. But sadly, because there's no vote bank over there, they get absolutely no government support, either from the Indian government or even from the Bangladeshi government. So over these 400 odd islands, we have actually started working on a project over there. We are setting up a 30-bed free hospital to be manned 24 hours with the entire IC units. I mean, you name it. Everything is going to be over there. We are going to be opening it on the 15th of October this year. And it's going to be absolutely free for all these tribals. I just managed to download, that's why I beg your pardon, I came in a bit late. I was downloading these pictures. These are a few of the pictures that were taken out yesterday and the day before. If you could just go on to the next slide. This is what we're doing. 30-bed free hospital. Next slide. There you go. All out of plastic bottles. This was day before yesterday. Okay, that wing at the back is the main hospital. These are the rooms coming up. If you notice, they've all been done with only plastic bottles, more plastic bottles over there. The main room is finished. This afternoon they cast to the roof. Next slide, please. Okay, that's the laborers building it over there. Can you notice all of the bottles? Same with the fishing net. It's all done in the last few days. We have one more? Almost there. That's it?
Yeah, more.
Okay, there we are. This is all the same hospital that we're building there in the Sundarbans. And we're doing the same thing here in Bangalore very soon. Right, so we need your help. If you know anybody who can give us these plastic bottles, anyone of you who has time to come and volunteer, come for a picnic to a little place. I mean, I don't mind giving you simple lunch or there. Come and help us fill up these bottles, see what we do. We'd love all the help that we get. If I can just play that little video to show you how we did this. There's a small little video. Yeah, that one. This is on YouTube. You can see it at home. It's called Samarpan Foundation. Yeah, that's okay. It's fine. the old ones where we use beams instead of the fishing net, now we use fishing nets. This is inside, putting the flow on the inside. It's a little school that we built. There you go, that's what some of our foundation is about.
Thank you, Mark, for the. Yeah, only two things. Thank you, Mark, for the lovely presentation. Only two things I would like to add is that the house is also fire resistant because there is so much mud in it that in the bottles that fire it won't catch easily. That is number.
Heat-proof, weatherproof. It's cool during summer.
Yeah.
Plastic does not absorb heat.
Yeah, it's a wonderful insulator.
Like bricks with during the sunshine, your walls will get hot. It's not so very.
Yeah, this classroom in Delhi school, Delhi it gets very cold, but our particular classroom is the warmest in winter and coolest in summer because plastic is a good insulator. That is one, and also secondly, in the Chennai house that Mark showed, even if you are not in the outer walls, you have all these small little flower pots. Even though on the bottles we just cut off the top and we are using those bottles as small flower pots.
I also forgot to mention one thing. The latest and the newest project that we're undertaking in Kashmir, thankfully with the government of Kashmir's involvement, because of the weather being similar in Switzerland and in Kashmir, we are setting up a dairy farm for the women, for collective farming for women in Kashmir. That's number one. Number two, I've just been told by Patrick, our founder, that the government of Somalia and South Sudan and the Philippines, particularly after the typhoon that hit, the governments of Somalia, South Sudan have asked the Samarkand Foundation to come to their countries and teach them how to build the same kind of buildings over there because they are, if not poorer than us, as not as poor. Okay, so they will be probably building it in South Sudan.
Thank you, Mark. I told you guys, our function is very special. They're always my favorite speakers in every event that we have, and they do this beautiful thing. So I urge all of you, I request all of you who are here today, please pass on this message to your friends as well, and also to other organizations. Like he said, all the restaurants and all the hotels that he visited, they showed a lot of interest in this. And plastic is garbage, just take it away, do what you can with it. And then I gave 50 bottles a day, and so they went to the street and started looking themselves. So I think it's time you can do that. So what I'm urging all of you is don't just watch this program, go home and forget. As we all discussed, there can be a little bit more to your life. You can spend 10 minutes out of your life for someone other than your immediate family member. And there's a lot of fulfillment to be taken from it. Okay? Please go back and don't forget that. Don't forget the message you just saw. You have plastic bottles, please contact Samarkand Foundation. Give it to them. You have friends who have stores, who have cafes, who have restaurants, who have big houses that use a lot of plastic bottles. Select them. If you have a neighborhood store who talks to you, make friends with them
and do your bit for them. Don't forget, don't just treat it like a function, an organization you just saw, oh, it's beautiful, and you go back home and go to sleep. Please don't do that. Act on it. Look up Samarpanam Foundation and give it to them. They're doing something wonderful for our world, and I think we all live in it. I think nobody here is a non-Earthling. I mean, are there Martians here? I see one. Uncle is a Martian for sure. Maybe me too. But mostly all of you belong to the same planet for which they are working. So you definitely have a stake in it. If you have plastic bottles, can you please look up Samarpan Foundation and give it to them? I request for you. Thank you. Now we move on to the next thing on our plate, which is again a very beautiful Bharatanatyam performance. Are we ready? Okay, we are ready. So let's give it up to them. The music is ready. Oh, I'm sorry, there's a small mix-up. We now have a hip-hop performance this time. Can I have someone from the group? Can I have the name of your group? Hello everyone. We are the Invaders crew. We are one of the best b-boying, that is hip-hop dance group in Bangalore. A few of our dancers are top b-boys, that is break dancers of the country. So b-boying is one of the very special street dance form, which was started in New York. So here Invaders crew for you. All of us aren't here today because most of them have exams going on, but few of us are here today to support the cause. So thank you so much for inviting us. Thank you. Best of luck, guys.
Get in there as a mob. So this is a cookie to do it. Now you play with the devil, make you know it. Undertaker, you just make it. With the things that take a picture. The Bible becomes a scripture. Too late, shining picture. But the game you took for granted. Your mouth is bugging, my mind is blended. It's so deep in my heart is broken. Something yelled out to get the hell out. Even fell out, it almost fell out. That's the middle, life's a brittle. Arrest the president, he's the criminal. What's laughing this? I keep laughing this. The happiest, we're the happiest. It's the voice of the social culture. The sculpture, the culture. Underrated, all women, assassinated. I just hate it. I was crying, brothers dying. Someone's lost. Let's do it now.
Wow, that was a lot of energy on the stage. I guess we all needed it. End of the long day. So before we move on to our next talk, I would like to introduce you to one of my volunteers, Ankit. Is he here?
There is Ankit there.
Ankit there, right. So Ankit is a young entrepreneur who likes to travel across the world. He's interned in several Oriental countries, and he seems to be very passionate about, guess what, tea. So Ankit has trained himself in Japanese, Chinese, Philippines, all kinds of tea culture. He's traveled across the world, he's spent time there, and he's learned how to make those kinds of tea. And he's very passionate about understanding, can we really do this in India or not? So Ankit, today is your dream come true because our next speaker is an entrepreneur who's going to talk about exactly that. So I will not speak about him because let him have the mystery himself, introducing my friend and a really, really innovative entrepreneur, Shashank Rawat. He's going to speak on behalf of this organization and he's going to tell us what is this gentleman up to, what is he doing in Bangalore. It's very interesting. Let us give him a hearing.
Women up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shashank Rawat from My Tea House. We are basically a tea-based restaurant here in Bangalore. Before I talk about who we are and why we are here, I'd like to thank Anahatalife, Georgia, Deepak, and the rest of the team for letting us be here and talk about ourselves and be here for the second time. There. So thank you very much. Right. Okay. Next slide, please. My talk will basically have three components. I'll talk about My Tea House. But before that, I'd like to talk about tea culture in India and the story of tea and how it's developed in our country. And then I'll move on to some of our future plans. Next slide, please. Okay. Starting from the beginning, it's unclear as to whether tea was actually here in India or not. But the fact of the matter is, mass production of tea basically began under the British East India Company. The British used to trade opium from India and trade it in China at the Guangzhou port, which is the only port in China which was open to foreigners, and procure tea from there to satisfy the demand of the British aristocracy in the UK. In around early 19th century and mid 19th century, the Chinese blockaded opium in the country. So that made it very difficult for the British to procure any tea from China. So they thought, well, we need to find another solution in order to sustain ourselves, because tea was a critical component of the British East India Company. Next slide, please. So they came up with a brilliant plan. There was a case of daring espionage which involved a British botanist called Robert Fortune. He actually sneaked himself into China. He went deep into China dressed as a Chinaman, as you see over there. And he was successful in actually procuring tea samplings from China, which were then shipped to India. So that was basically the beginning of tea production in India. This happened around mid 19th century. The British were very free in allocating land to Europeans to cultivate tea. So the Europeans were the first to actually do that. But Maniram Leon was the first Indian tea planter, and he's important. So I just thought I'd mention that. Next slide. Okay, prior to independence, during the pre-colonial era, tea was basically an elite drink. The British aristocracy drank it. British officers here drank it. It wasn't really accessible to the general public. Post-independence, it was actively promoted by the Tea Board of India, because after the British left, there was no consuming market segment. But there was this whole bunch of tea lying around waiting to be consumed. So in the 50s, the Tea Board of India aggressively promoted tea through an advertising campaign. And to basically make tea more affordable, they promoted a cheaper variant, which is essentially CTC, which is crushed, corn, and pearl tea, which is what you get in supermarkets today. So that's basically where tea came about. The CTC that you get in supermarkets is it has a strong flavor in it. It is bitter as well, as you probably already know. So in order to make the taste a little milder, we added milk in that. That was essentially why milk was added in our milk chats. And because we like spices, we also decided to add cinnamon, cloves, ginger, and other spices, and that's where the masala chai came from. Today, that is basically the Indian tea, and that's predominantly what you find in India. It's made in practically every home in India, and the chai walas in every nukar and dhaba all across urban, semi-urban, and rural parts of the country. Next slide. Whether you're in Kerala or in Rajasthan, Ladakh, or even at home, you make tea with spices. That's basically what Indian tea is today. It's an occasion, whenever you drink tea, it's a social occasion. People gather around, chat about relevant issues in their life. So it's a very inherent part of our culture, but it basically revolves around milk tea and spices added in milk tea. Next slide. And you're guaranteed to get some good customer service regarding what the conditions are. Next slide. Some facts about tea. Tea is basically basically the most widely consumed manufactured beverage, which is second only to water. So it's ahead of coffee, it's ahead of soft drinks, and even alcohol. We produce about 1.2 million metric tons of tea, 70% of which is consumed here, and it constitutes 28% of the global production. The growth of tea in India has increased by about 50% since the start of the century, which lags behind China by a significant margin. In the year 2000, China had about production of about 0.7 million metric tons, while we had 0.8 million metric tons. And we've come to 1.2, while they've gone to 1.8. And the reason for that being is, well, they just have more land at their disposal. So, they can always increase their production that way. Next slide, please. Some of the benefits that we get from tea are here. The most benefit well, tea attributes most of its benefits to the catechins in it, which is basically a group of flavonoids which are antioxidants. And antioxidants halt the oxidative damage to cells, which in other words means it cleanses your antioxidants is supposed to cleanse your body. That's the effect that tea has. Oxidative damage to cells also leads to cancer. I'm not saying here that tea cures cancer, but it definitely eliminates the risk of reduces the risk of getting cancer because of its antioxidant effects. It is high in L-theanine, which basically reduces mental and physical stress and enhances cognition. Vitamins B1 and B2 help boost metabolism. Vitamin B2 breaks down protein in the food that you eat, and it also contains caffeine. For information, black tea contains more caffeine than green tea does, but green tea and white tea are higher in antioxidant. So, depending on what you eat and what your mood is, you can choose whether to have green tea or black tea. Next slide, please. Right. So why are we here, and what motivated us to get into the tea business? We see tea as a health drink. This was our way of creating social value. There was some interesting presentation that we've seen today, and this is the approach that we took. We're all passionate drinkers of tea. The three founders in the company, and we thought this was a good way to go. We don't want to change the tea culture in India, but we want to add a new dimension to it, which is basically consistent with the Indian cultural ethos of unity in diversity. So the idea is to have as many teas as possible under one roof. So the consumer gets the opportunity to experience the art of tea making from not only within various regions within India, but also globally. What keeps us going is our passion for tea and our irrepressible spirit of entrepreneurship. And from a business standpoint, basically, there's a huge opportunity here. This is a relatively disorganized industry as opposed to coffee. You have a whole lot of coffee outlets, but the tea retail outlets are still up and coming. So it was a great opportunity for us to get into this. Next slide, please. Talking a bit about what My Tea House is today, we have a huge selection of teas. Some of our stars, if you will, are brewing teas, which you see in the top left corner, which is essentially comes from a Chinese dragon boat. You steep it in water and it becomes a flower. We have various cultural preparations, not only from India but from across the globe. There you see on the top right the Kashmiri Kawa, which is essentially a green tea, which has saffron, cinnamon, clove, and cardamom in it. Down at the bottom, we see a few crushed nuts which are settled down. We have a whole variety of international teas from more than 10 different countries. Here you see a picture of the Taiwanese oolong. Oolong, by the way, is sort of halfway between white and green tea and black tea. The distinction, how they're different, depends upon the level of fermentation and processing. So white tea is basically the least processed tea, and black tea is the most processed tea. Black tea tends to have the highest amount of caffeine. White tea has the least amount of caffeine. White tea has the highest amount of antioxidants, while black tea has the least amount of antioxidants. We, because we want to give you only high quality teas, we only serve and sell whole leaves. There you see a picture of white tea basically. It's greyish in color, it's not as dark as green tea or black tea. So you have an opportunity of buying these at my tea house and even tasting them if you want to. Next slide, please. Right. So what are we trying to do here? As I've mentioned, we want to add a new dimension to tea drinking in India. Today, tea drinking revolves around milk tea. We want the consumer to to build an appreciation for diverse types of tea making from across India and also the world basically. So that's what we're going for. We also have created a new brand called Simply Tea, which is essentially a takeaway brand under a sort of a takeaway tea cafe model. And we are finalizing locations all across Bangalore at the moment, and very soon we could be somewhere in your neighborhood. So that's basically about us. I just want to introduce my tea house. I have a few samples of Darjeeling, high quality Darjeeling black tea with me. I'll leave it in the corner. Please feel free to take it. It is very high in caffeine, as I mentioned, and also has high amount of antioxidants, which is very good for you. So thank you for your time. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Okay, so now you have free tea and a great talk. That's great, Shashank. That's more than the bargain. So thank you. Okay, so we've seen a lot of things today, and I'll sum it up today. We've seen a 19-year-old boy in USA who's spending his time trying to figure out how to make clean air. What were you doing when you were 19? I think I was watching movies. I was probably vacationing, reading books a little bit, and just doing my assignments. This guy's trying to make a better world. So we at Samarpan Foundation, Purnima and Mark and Priyanka, who's not here today, who I met first, who are taking PET bottles to make hospitals and classrooms and houses for the poor. Please don't forget them. I would like to remind you again. Then we met my tea house, who are trying to take the drinking of tea, which is a very common and popular pastime in India, to a whole new dimension. And they're a beautiful set of entrepreneurs who are trying to do things differently. So I encourage you to seek them out, find out what they're doing, and see how you can participate. I think the best way you can participate to this culture is go and have a cup of tea at their tea house, right? So quite a lot of talks, interesting performances, right from Bharatanatyam to hip hop. We had a movie producer here. We had a camera person from National Geographic. We had an ex-investment banker. We had a techie. We have a teacher. We have all kinds of people here today. Some of them have left, some of you are still hanging around. Above all, we have Captain Arvind, who's always at 8,000, 10,000 feet altitude. I don't want to again talk about Anahatalife because I've done that at the beginning, but I would like to leave you all with the thought that what we discussed at the beginning, in the benefit of those who were not here. What is the objective of you living your life? Martin Luther King said that life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? And this is a very, very deep question, because if you go into any philosophy that you believe in, different religions, you don't believe in religion, look up Confucius, you don't believe in Confucius, look at the Greek mathematician. There is no others. To be honest, human world and human life existence is a complete intermesh and interdependency of everything on everything. You must have heard of the butterfly effect. It's part of the very famous chaos theory, When you step on a butterfly's wings, you can end up changing an entire sequence of events on this planet. So when you are driving past and simply watching, a man throwing blast from his truck into your face and not reporting it to pollution board, you can't be too sure 15 years down the line your son will not have lung cancer because the world is highly connected. If you are not making way for that one ambulance going somewhere, can you really be sure it was not your partner who had fallen down the elevator? It is a very connected world, extremely connected, trust me. We just don't know how things are working because we are not that smart. But those who were smart, they have said it, written it, and proved it, even in the form of something like butterfly effect, very provable theory in physics, that the world is a very strong and interconnected system of dependencies. So there is no others. When you're living for others, you're really living for yourself. So we do a lot of things to make our lives better, to earn a livelihood. We eat food, we go to work, we go to schools and colleges, we make friends, we seek out like-minded company. We do a lot of things to feel good. But still, a lot of things aren't happening in our lives. That's because there are a lot of factors outside of the small world, which is the bigger world, which is influencing your world. Do your bit for that. I think a lot of things will change in your life. For sure, I've experienced it, and from what my volunteers tell me, I think they've experienced it. Right, Chetan? Have you experienced it? Do you think ever since you started volunteering, things were a little different in your life? Ankit, what's your opinion? Do you think things have been different? So, Pradeep, what's your opinion? Different. I think the moment you step out of this small cocoon, this shell, Diana, do you agree? Yeah? Okay. No, not because I'm saying it. Really? It hasn't been different? I've experienced it. I think you guys will too. Just do your bit for something other than yourself. It's not somebody else. You're doing it for yourself. If you see something that needs to be reported to the Pollution Control Board, spend that 2 minutes on your smartphone Googling the number and calling them. If you see extra plastic bottles, please collect them and call some urban foundation. If you do think you have a bunch of friends who want to go out and have a great time, don't just take them to a pub and give them alcohol. Take them to my tea house. If you want to find someone, a new icon, a 19-year-old boy who's going off track, talk to him about Param Jaggi. He's trying to make a cleaner world. There's so much you can do. Do your bit. You don't have to go out of your way. You can still live your life very comfortably and happily. You can still do your bit. In case any of you like what you saw today and you want to know more, please get in touch with Anahatalife. Logos are there. Our website is www.anahatalife.in. We are also on Facebook. Look us up. We have projects across the world. See if you can participate in something. I did not introduce myself. I am DWITiYA. I am the founder. I don't think there's anything else I want to talk about myself because my volunteers are the real star. So I don't want to talk about myself. If you want to look me up, you would find me on my website. Captain Arvind, you've been so silent that I can't let you go like this. You have to say something. What is it you want to say?
Well, Anna, thanks. It's been very interesting being here. I started out life as a computer science engineer and got addicted to flying. And for 25, 30 years I've been flying. Again, looking for meaning in life, went into law about 3 years back. And now I started working in medical. So this question about trying to find what you need in life, ultimately, it appears to be that while spiritualism says it's within, but a lot of it might just be around you. So somewhere you need to mix that within and without and reach a combination. Also to add, me and my wife have only one child with a son who's in US now. And when he was in the 8th standard, all of us becoming nuclear families and trying to be financially independent, we get cut off from a lot of social structure which comes from a joint family, lots of blood relatives. In cities, we miss out that. So we did not know how to teach our son to do something without, that's outside, volunteering. So we got him a pet. So even a small thing like a pet taught him what it is to care for somebody. When everything that he wanted was being given to him on a platter, as you chatted outside. So I think there is no age to learn. There's so much to be done outside of you, which ultimately comes back to within. That's a very shared.
Thank you.
I have my movie director here who's going away without saying anything. Say one word, one sentence. कुछ तो बोलना पड़ेगा आपको.
You're doing a wonderful job. I really really inspired. Seriously, I can only talk about yourself.
Thank you, thank you.
Seriously.
Thank you very much. Anyone else here would like to add parting words, something? We're ending now. My mother usually doesn't get to speak because I do the talking all the time, everywhere. But in case you want to talk today on record, you can say something. This, you always say that I do all the talking, so do you want to say something? From your experience as an academician, as a scientist, what do you think? You don't have to be nice to me because I'm good. Alright, so anything else from the volunteers? Deepak, Chetan, Ajay, my brother and the CFO who's been extremely quiet. Anything from you? No. Deepak? Oh, come on. You quiet? No, wait, we're not ending with us.
No, I think he should sing a song. Oh, no. Yes.
How about you say something since you started?
Okay. Maggie song.
Yeah, that's all. So hi guys, it's really pleasure, and I say it's pleasure to work for Anahatalife, for these people actually, because I finally realized that I've been getting a lot from the industry, from this community, and I thought it's time to actually start sharing. I'm not giving anything, I'm just sharing whatever I can. So I started off in March with Anahatalife, trying to do something. This time I tried my level best to get some sponsorship so that the money goes to these kids, and also tried helping Anahatalife to educate more and more people so that they can come forward for this cause and start contributing. Because the simplest idea is if all like-minded people like us come together, share their ideas, the community, at the end of the day, the community would become better and better. So that's about it.
Thank you. So once again, I'll remind you of our two causes. We are trying to send children from families that are trash workers and garbage collectors. We're trying to send them to school. And we're also working to rehabilitate sex trafficked men and women. We are trying to get them back into normal life by counseling, providing training, and seeing if we can fit them into regular jobs, men and women. So those are our two causes today. So if you want to find out more about our causes or give to our causes, you can log on to anahatalife.in and give it directly to the causes. It doesn't come to us, you can give to them directly. So I will end with Deepak Raju. He always does a fantastic closing. And thank you everyone for coming today. Deepak will close. Please.
I think we should have a song.
A song, please.
Yeah, song from Deepak Raju.
But he's definitely going to close the session for us.
I really don't want to go, but well begun is half done. That's what some people say. My association with Anahatalife has been about 6 months, more or less. I worked in different capacities. I have a full-time job as a banker right across the world, but this is something different. It's it's different from the drudgery that we go through from Monday through Saturday. But I really have enjoyed the association, and thank you, Joyita, for giving me the opportunity. And also, volunteers really doesn't like family. All of these guys, Pradeep, Deepak, Ajay, Chetan, and some of the other guys that's outside, Ankit right here. I mean, you've been an inspiration, man. So, like I said, we've done two projects, blockbuster projects. We've done our bit. I think we will be bigger, and better in the times to come. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
No, I think this time we should have a picture with all.
With all the volunteers?
Yes, all the volunteers.
Fill all these over so we can take our picture. Come, we'll take a picture.
Come guys.
Come, we'll take a picture. You can do the honors for us, please. These are professional photographers. So. Come, Deepak.
Yeah. I will visit my district. Okay.
Manaswadi Varma would we are looking at
Thanks. So we have a session later in the evening today with our personal group. Would you like to come later?
Yes.
We have like an extended happy challenge.
No, it's fine. No problem. Obviously, I am into a peaceful concept last year with my close friend. I opened nice peaceful all over peaceful in Bangalore and rest of the Karnataka. It's a way of some peaceful family and friends. I have completely very in which I actually pancake India. For 1 year. This concept taking the almost because right now I am thinking of come out with a Olympic mix in the hospital. If they not this product, I can get from now. Peaceful. What is the peaceful? All about the six to nine lakhs.
1, 2, 3.
Gurukulam. Okay.
I would send you a volunteer who will help us with photography and something.
We should have taken his picture too.
No, you don't get fantasy, this is fantasy. It's very beautiful. You take a fantasy, you know, there's all about fantasy. Fantasy. If you get fantasy, anyway you are getting your fantasy. Because you have your own concept right now. In future, after 24, all over you can go and absolutely. You have to be a fantasy type of concept. Then you can go. All about the copy, whatever it's a fancy all those. That's true. That's exploring. So let's see where. That's a big. I don't know why because I am not about the first I'm not earlier stuff. I am everything area of the medical field. Right now, the medical is the biggest challenge. See, whatever the everything like any control of anything we will tell about the social cause. But at the end of the day, we have to feed our needs, our family. When we are in this case, we tell that we'll help the world, we will do some sort of 3 to 5% we will help. 90% will be not motivated. Or if you say any person, if you generic medicine because it will be cost wise it will be very less. I'm getting something but you have established it, no, it's not all about my we are already discussed my group 2 3 friends 5%. Only a 1,000 square feet area. Only it's only chicken, whatever it is. Fever can score top, whatever can come. Same type of people who come to work. The doctor the medicine is very less. Generic medicine. So what would be India? So not about this allopathic I will also say the both will be good. So we not able to high more will be used automatically the lesser charges for the patients. We don't engineer I mean, it's a continuous not about once you are become very costly, including the charges for the medicine. So, honestly, people store medicine to the patient. It's very helpful for the period for